I remember one time a senior slapped my back and her 5 hand was visible on my skin. Like I remember it. So I used to be that junior that please just avoid people, just avoid her. Like she's trouble. So I sometimes I used to use my sibling cards to flex. So I mean they knew I had a sister, I had a brother. So depending. I remember sometimes some seniors would tell me, I snore your sister as well. So you cannot even tell me you're going to tell me and there's nothing your brother can do to me. We're in the same class. Anyway, to a large level, some people avoided me. That was good for me. Hello everyone, welcome to the Flavored Life channel. Woo! Exciting guys. How are we doing? Hope we're good. If you're new on here, welcome guys. Like I absolutely love you already. It's not a coincidence you're here. It was God incidents. God knew you're gonna be here, and now you're gonna be here. So welcome. If you are my returnee, I'm so grateful that you keep coming. More grace, more strength, more enablement. Thank you so much for supporting the Flavored Life channel on this journey. Until you're in the right space and place, as always, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome, everybody. It's been amazing. My name is Favor Olori for the new joiners. My name is Favor Olori, and yeah, it's the Flavored Life channel for a reason. I mean, flavor. I mean, all my life, love Bruce call me Flavor. So much so that I remember then, like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. I actually respond to the name Flavor as well. For so long, like and why it was okay was because maybe because I gave my name Favor. If you don't know about that, obviously go and check our introduction video. I talked about it, how I actually gave myself, fun fact, the name Favor. Yeah. But then again, why I was also open to people calling me Flavor at the time was that I just saw it as the flavors of God. So I think of it like the coat of many colors, like Joseph had. So for me, when they said flavor, it reminded me of the different dimensions of who God is. You know, to some he's a healer, to some he's provider, to some he's I am that I am. Whatever you need me to be, I will be. And for me, that was one of the names, so powerful names I really loved about God. I am that I am, the one that He revealed to was the Moses. Moses said, you know, when they asked me who sent me, what do I say? Who are you? And God says, I am that I am. It was so beautiful because it's whatever you need me to be, I will. That's the Father's heart to somebody right now. Whatever you need him to be, he will be, and much more. Like, you know, he's our daddy. We can always run to him. We can always ask him for everything we need and more. God is good, guys. Like He's not wanting anyone to perish. That's why there's more time. Because some people are like, well, you say we're in the last days. Nah, the last days is still the last days of the last days, as it were. But not really, because his heart, he doesn't want men to perish. He wants, the gospel to reach the end of the earth. He wants men to be saved. Like that's the reason why there's more time stalling. It's not necessarily. Do you think we want to, keep reading the dark world and keep staying and all of that? Not really. It's the fact that that's really the reason why we're even doing this in the first place. That the gospel of Christ will be preached everywhere we go, and that is in the different ways and different dimensions. That's why flavors for a reason, because God will want to communicate that in different ways. For some, it's I just want to teach and do that, but doing that from the place of understanding that you are a light, so wherever you go, you shine. And when you shine, the brilliance of God is seen. It's seen, and it radiates so beautifully. So wear His glory well. That's just an aside. Today, we're gonna be talking about the story. So I've been literally owing you guys the literature story and the English story. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna combine together because literature and English, they're very similar. So I'll just combine the two stories together and just give it while it's hot. Okay, so let's go. Um, so basically, back in the day, I used to be a literature lover. When I was in SS1 in secondary school, I went to Macedon, so Tycho for short. Shout out to Tycho. I mean, one of the best places you can be if you have children and you want to send them to school in Nigeria is really still great, like top notch standard. You can send them to Macedon International College. I'll see if I can find the link and just tag it below. So feel free to tell somebody and tell somebody that will tell somebody, and send their children there. It really was a game changer for my sister and I. But yeah, Taiko is home, it's family. Anyway, moving on. So when I was going to SS1 in secondary school, I was going to. So in SS1, there's something they do like a test run. Test run in the sense that you get to have a flavor of all the different aspect of subjects you could do, so it could help you to determine what you want to venture into. So so I had a combination of subjects like arts, commercial, and science, so that way you don't just say I want to do science or I just want to do arts without even knowing if you had the capacity to do all or either. Does that make sense? So I think at this time we had started. So when I was doing biology, I was doing, I think I did commerce for like a week or so. I can't remember now. Anyway, I remember we just had like a flavor of each different category of subject pathways you could ever go through. And so for like a week or two, I experienced different other subjects to decide what I wanted to, venture in terms of specialize in terms of is it an art class, a science class, or a commercial class. So if I was going into commercial, I'm thinking of courses in regards to maybe accounting and finance and all of that. I was thinking science, it could be medicine, pharmacy, or public health or so. If it was art, I was thinking maybe law, maybe politics, mass communications, and sort of thing, linguistics. Anyway, so it was that thing of rather than just assume, because it's one thing to have liked something, but it's another thing to also be in quotes good at it as well. So let's see how good or how bad I would fare in terms of these subjects. So we started. I liked biology, if I'm being honest, even though I didn't last long on the module. Like I didn't have to do it, so I remember dropping it after a while. But I liked it at first. Anyway, I remember encountering literature. Literature was amazing. Like, so for me, literature was a bit of it's such a special story to me because at the time I've always like I've always like when I mean always I've always just loved writing since when I was young. Like back in the day, people like most times when people were speaking and stuff, I would just whilst I was very, I could also be a bubbly, fun child to be with. I had my moments of also just wanting to be in my space and not want to talk to anybody. But in those times, I realized that I like to just talk to my book. Like, I just want to talk with my pen. I didn't want to communicate, I just wanted to write. Like, just zone out and write. So I'd realized that every single time that I was not, in quotes, the bubbly, energetic person, I would always just want to just keep into my thoughts and just write it out. So I'd always been journaling since I can remember. Like, so I started being able to read, and I like the dictionary a lot as well. I like learning new words. So as since I started learning how to read, and I read books and stuff, I'd been writing. So 7, 8, 9, I started writing already. Started keeping a journal actively. I think from maybe just one, just two, and maybe that was like 9, 10, 11. So I'd always been writing. I've always loved writing. But I didn't know, like I didn't have any finesse to it. So I just wrote whatever was on my mind. I remember so much so that in just 2, just 3, particularly, I had something called, I used to call it the dark writings. Dark writings because then I had a lot of dark thoughts, and it was stemming from a place of I didn't want to, like, I love boarding school, don't get me wrong. But there were days, it had its days. I remember there was one time, let me not say the story. There was one time I wanted to feel among. So it was, I remember because I did my just one in command secondary school. I know, you'd be like, people did command. Yes, I did. I'm a commando. But yes, sir. Once upon a time, I did command at the time, the first year. So I couldn't cope. Then obviously they transferred me to Taiko. But at the time, I remember going into command. I was quite excited because at this time, remember, my brother and my sister had gone before me. So they were seniors. Like my brother was senior, like the top senior, like the predecessors of the school, like the guys, the pioneers rather of the set of the school. So I didn't have fears because I was like, my brother is there, my sister is there, I'll be fine. Like, So I remember the first day I went to school. I don't know how we got here, guys, but let's just keep going. So I remember the first day of school. So I wore at the time just my clothes because they're not giving me uniform and all. I still remember the first day I stepped my foot in command secondary school. And when I entered, I was like, I mean, remember I had gone for visiting days for my siblings and also like I was not familiar with the place. But coming as a student, they were just a different feeling. Like, are we really doing this? Anyway, um, so my siblings obviously come, like, okay, let's take you round. They wanted to like show me around. I was like, okay, so we're going round. Then what I remember the most, because I don't remember everything as well, but I mean I still remember some things here and there. So I remember vividly, I was very thirsty. So I was like, Gabriel, that's my brother's name. I was like, Gabriel, please, I want water. Then I think my sister was like, oh, okay, that there's a tap there. Let's go fetch some water. I said, eh? I say what? I say, I don't drink tap water. I want bottled water. Like I still remember the eyes, like the rolling of the eyes, you know. And it was like pure Queen's English, guys. Like when I mean pure Queen's English, like it was really a. I don't want like I don't drink tap water. I drink bottled water. My siblings were just they were shocked. Like my brother looked at me, my sister looked at me. But I was like, say no more. Obviously, being the amazing big brother that he always is, he obviously got like indulged me. And by the way, I was the last born, so you can just imagine me like going to boarding school for the first time. Not really wanting to go, but okay, just taking the bravado and just wanting to go. Like to be fair, I had a choice. I had a choice if I wanted to do day, but I genuinely didn't want to stay at home. Like I was like, my siblings have gone. Like it just made sense for me to go. Although caveat, I would say like you know, you don't have to go to boarding school if you don't want to go to boarding school. You don't have to go to boarding school if because your siblings went to boarding school. My parents were very aware of the distinctiveness of each of their children, and I'm so grateful for that because they didn't want you to study something because your siblings studied it or do this because they understood that every child was unique in their own right, and that was key for us. However, I just genuinely wanted to just follow their path. This one was my choice. Like I wanted to follow their path. I didn't want to stay at home. I wanted to actually go and see the world. I know for a 10-year-old, I really wanted to just go see the world. And so just one, I still remember the first day was so very interesting. Anyway, back to the story. So I usually love writing and also I would talk about the experiences. I remember then I used to feel like I wanted to feel among, okay, that's what brought me there. And that's how one time I just hope, you don't watch this video, but if they watch it, no problem. This was the me before, so it's okay. Anyway, I remember, so I was like, okay, let me see. So then, obviously, there was this whole boy girl. Does this boy like me? Does this girl like me? Kind of drama and all this school. I was young then, so I was just one. What do I know? Anyway, I remember I told you that my brother was like the pioneers of the set. So what I had told, so I answered, okay, you know what? Let me plan a rules. I don't know how I came up with this. It's like, so that's the thing. I have such a very interesting imagination. So I'm quite creative, as it were. But creativity too can lead to a lot of lies at the time. So I remember one day I just sat down. I think they were punishing some students. Okay, yes, they're punishing us. I think we were to do, was it ride a bike or something? So you have to literally squat and bend and gosh, command was a bit tough. I'm grateful that I didn't stay there for so long. Although sometimes I'm like, I feel like maybe I would have had different choices. I would have turned out to be a very different person. Where you're being refined or trained determines how you turn out eventually. It's not the sole determiner, but it has a large influence on how you actually start to think and are cultured after. So, to a large level, maybe it depends. I might have taken different life choices. It's very possible. But we are where we are. But then again, back to the story. So that day we're riding machine as it were was a punishment. I was tired. Like when I mean tired, I was that junior student that students are crawling on gravel like stones, and if you push me for too long I can start bleeding, like my whole body starts bleeding. I remember one time a senior slapped my back and her 5 hand was visible on my skin. Like I rather so I used to be that junior that please just don't just avoid Favourite, just avoid her. Like she's trouble. And then me to report like if it was a junior that was maybe a junior that was smaller than my sister, I would report. You know, luckily my siblings were good, so it's not like they would go and kill you. But if I would, I could always use it to threaten you that my brother is a panic. He said I will tell my brother. So that sort of thing. So I sometimes I used to use my sibling cards to flex. So I mean they knew I had a sister, I had a brother. So depending. I remember sometimes they would some seniors would tell me, I know your sister as well. So you cannot even tell me you're going to tell me and there's nothing your brother can do to me, we're in the same class. So sometimes I remember then some seniors like the captains of they would say stuff like there's nothing I can do because maybe they're in the set with my brother, so there's nothing my brother can do to them. Highest we talk, that's it. But my sister is even their junior, so they can still punish her as well if I go and report that kind of thing. So I remember I'll be like, oh my god, these people. Anyway, to a large level, some people avoided me. That was good for me. But this particular day, we were riding machine, as it were, and I was in pain. Like guys, I was in pain. So creativity spurred me. I said, okay, how can I get out of this pain? So in that moment, my brain started to think on his feet, on his tired feet, and I told them that I have gist for them. They said, ah, what gist? I said that if they release me, I'll gist them. I'll tell them a lot of things that they don't know about what's happening in the school. So obviously, every senior will be curious as to what does he have to say. So me, I started to spawn a lot of web of lies. Oh. I told them that this that because my brother is in like they're in the main set, so I know what they say about them that they are the females of the set. Like hey, that what did they say? So I'll say that guy he likes this girl. Waiting, so I start spawned. I can't remember the full story of how I shall know that by the end of the day they released me from the punishment. I sat down for like 1 hour to gist them about who likes who said what, who insulted who, what this guy said about this. And obviously I know some of the seniors in my brother's set because by virtue of it's my brother, I knew some of his friends, so it was easy for me to use specific names. Anyway, me I just thought that it will never come to light, they will never confirm it. If they do, it's almost vacation time. This was 2 weeks of vacation, so I will sure be able to run away. That was my plan intent. I think a week or so before we went home. Yawa gas. What that means is everything sports, everything came out to light. So I think one particular day they were in was an intersport or something. I can't remember. Something happened like a big program. It happened that the seniors, the female seniors, because what was happening was as I was telling them the stories, they'll go and call more of their friends in the room. So as the more friends are coming, I will be adding extra for these friends to have a stake. You get like imagine I'm talking about Asabi and I'm like Asabi, this person said something about you. Then maybe Asabi going to call Lois. Did you hear what this person said about me? Like Lois, you too, they talked about you. And this is what he said. Another person said. Like, can you imagine? They will not call on that scenario. So as they were increasing the number, which I was increasing the stories. Oh my God. Thank you for Christ. Anyway, so I go back one day and the whole school turns upside down because they're looking for this junior called Favor. And I think, okay, what happened was the seniors were looking for me. I didn't know why. Only for, I know my sister caught me first. Like, she caught me. I think they saw me, like, everybody's looking for me. So I think she dragged me to a class where my brother was waiting for me. So they sat down with me and said, what did you do? Say Gabriel sister, Gabriel. Oh my God, it was a lot of chaos. I felt bad for them because perhaps when I came to this school, my siblings have been low profile. My sister was one of those amazing seniors and junior, depending on who it's like. If it's her junior, they loved her. If it was her senior, they loved her as well. So they've had amazing. My brother also been a very quiet, gentle young man, respecting himself and his life. This girl just comes. She's not spent up to a year and she just scatters the whole school. It was it was chaotic, guys. So in that room, my brother was like, "What did you do? What did you say?" And I said, I was just saying this, so they could just release me from punishment. I just lying, and I just told them this and this and this. I didn't know they will confirm it. I didn't know. Oh my God, guys! And I really didn't know that judgment day was coming. You say one day by thief, every day by thief, one day by the owner. Truly, I didn't know that this day would happen. And so my brother was like, ways to hide you because they say they're gonna kill you. And I don't live with girls who's like, I can't save you, and your sister is like because I was talking to the top seniors. Like my sister cannot do anything. Like the only person that could even help my brother, but they can allow me in public spaces. The moment we get to those there, I'm finished. So me I cannot die. As you know now, your girl wise up. I started crying, saying, "What will I do now? Will you allow them to beat me?" So I was just doing this whole pity party drama queen thing. And then luckily, so what we agreed was I'll stay with my sister for the night, but I'll not stay with her. I'll stay with her friend. I shout out to Ife. Thank you for saving me that night. Anyway, so I'll stay with Ife in her house because Ife was in yellow, I was in purple, myself was in red. And the thing is, if I stayed in my place, they would kill me. Like when I mean kill me, they would kill me because they were looking for me. They were looking for me. There are some names in my head, and I want to literally scream out their names. Obviously, I will not say it, but I remember they're like, if they find you, she is dead. Guys. Anyway, so I didn't go to my hostel. I didn't stay with my sister because they were also, my sister was prime suspect as to where I will be. So they were also monitoring her with their friends in my sister's hostel. So I didn't stay with my sister. So my sister took me to her friend's place in another house, where close to where the head girl too was. So it was the same room. So because of the head girl was there, there was nothing they could do to me. In the sense that she would, even though she could not really put her mouth because she doesn't like to be in a business that's not hers. She will also not condone me being sacrificed, right? So that's how I was safe for the night. Whew, guys. Hmm. How this thing resolved, God really helped me. So I think the next day was vacation or something. 2 days later was our vacation. So I remember one of them told me. So I think it was time my parents had come to pick us. So I remember one of them said, "You think you have escaped, right? You think I will see you next time? I will see you." So all of them were really just giving me the eyes. You could tell they wanted to kill me. You could tell they killed me in their minds already. Like they were planning for me. The only okay, I think also another person that begged for me was Shalom. Shout out Shalom. Because she was like, she too was a very top senior as well, so she was able to just pacify. But the pacifying, when it's your friends, they can still override it. So it really wasn't anything anybody could do for me. Anyway, I was sure no hopeless. God came through. This God has been coming through for me since 1999. So God actually came through for me. And what do I mean by that? When my father came to pick us, so he was taking us back home, and then he also told us announced that we're not coming back to the school. That because obviously, okay. By the way, guys, I was always sick. Like when I mean sick, in a month I could be maybe 2 3 weeks in the hospital, 1 week in class. I don't know how I excelled, but yeah, I was always just either the weather, the water. I was reacting. There were so many things happening to my body, and also I couldn't actually cope in school, right? Anyway, so my father was like, "Oh, so because of all this, it's not calling of she's now in the hospital, she's not there, so she's like, we're just gonna move you out of the school." So at the time, like instead of just moving me, since my sister was just about to enter this 1, they'll move her as well, since it's also a new whole system for her. Rather than just coming back, we'll all just move. My brother is already in final year, so there's no point. um I remember my sister cried. She was like, "Why is it because of you?" Da, 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 da. Shout out to Faith. I mean, Faith was amazing for me, guys. Like, I remember that I'll be sick. My sister will come, she'll clean, she'll take care of me, dress me up, she'll throw away my dirty uniforms. Like, she was amazing. Like, I don't know how we got here because I know it's a literal story, but I don't know how we got here, guys. But it was, I mean, the command journey was so nice in the sense of Faith was amazing. So I remember then anytime I was very mean to my sister, my mother always say, "You remember when she was nice to you, Commander?" In my head, I'm like, in my head, was even playing more. It's not even just the cleaning and taking care of me, and it's where it's always the fact that she saved me the night that I would have died, through her friend. That's why it's so much. So I love her friend. She has a special in my heart. Because the day of trouble, she was well, God used to help hide me. There would have been no favor talking to you right now. I'm sacrificing lamb. But so daddy said that was the best news I heard like for the day. My sister was wailing, she wasn't really happy. She was like, Why? Because of you, I'm changing schools. I love my school. Now I'm about to be a senior. I know then, I think we'll go from dress to skirt as a senior, like as one, you start wearing skirt. So she was looking forward to it. Like, when you've been a junior for like 3 years, you're planning to now is your time to be a senior, that sort of thing. So Faith was not having it. She was really not having it. But oh well, me, I was excited. I said, saved by this bell. I was so excited. Thank you, Jesus. I will not do this again. I will not lie again. So I was really happy. Like, you guys, my joy knew no bounds because I knew that if I came back the next semester, I was dead. Like, they will beat me. There's no way I can avoid this one. So I was really grateful to God that I was leaving the school for good. Anyway, so by the time I went to Taiko, I obviously had learned my lesson also. So I learned my lesson. So I wanted to be like low key, like low key. I feel like we'll do a part two because I don't want it to be too long. Because and I know that we still have to do the video on literature. So I'll still do the literature video, just not this one. So this one will be, it's the command video how I told multiple of lies. But yeah, like I feel like we'll still do the literature video. But for now, I'll say goodbye. Look out for the literature video. I'm still owing you, and I'll still give you the video. But it just happens that we talked about other things, and it was. I hope you also had fun. And like the thing on two, please. you know, don't put yourself in trouble. Stay out of trouble. But also, is that thing where truly, truly, he's been my help for me this past. I'm grateful to God. Thinking about it right now, I'm like, wow, like, look at how far we've come. God is so good. God is so faithful. But yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.